Hey couples, it's week number 2 of our marriage mentor training series at PursueGOD.org. Tracy, last time we gave a short intro to Pursue God Marriage Mentoring.
Yeah, so hopefully what you heard is it's disciple making, it's walking one topic at a time with another couple, and you're not professional counselors.
So it's marriage mentor training. We're in lesson number 2, and today we're going to talk about marriage mentor leader essentials. This is what we like to do in all of our training series. We give you 5 essentials that we want to make sure that you understand if you're going to be a successful and effective marriage mentor. And here's the first one: know the couple.
Yeah, so this speaks to, if you're going to be a successful marriage mentor, you need to have a heart for people. That if your pastor or somebody came to you and said, hey, there's a couple we have that's asked for marriage mentoring, they're struggling a little bit, would you guys be interested in helping? That you would say, yes, we have a heart to do this. We desire to help people. We're going to want to get to know this couple. We're going to want to invest time in them, some of our emotional time, our, just time in general out of our week to say this will be a priority for us because we care. So those first couple meetings that you have with a couple are going to be really important, of establishing rapport, just wanting to hear their story, sharing a little bit about your story, and really starting to establish some trust that as you move forward in the relationship, that the couple feels like you care about them.
Now, second, you want to know the basics. And what we're talking about here is our series that we call Marriage Basics. This is where we introduce these 3 pillars of a healthy marriage: choose love, earn trust, and keep talking. And you can find this in the Marriage Basics series on that family page online at PursueGOD.org.
Marriage Basics is our flagship series for all of our marriage content. All the other topics that we have in the library really are framed by these 3 main pillars of understanding what love really is about, of understanding how to earn trust and how forgiveness plays into that, and then just the practical skills of what does it mean to listen? What does it mean to resolve conflict in a healthy way? So this will be a series that you do with any couple that you meet with, but you might also do some additional topics either before the series, during, or even after.
And that leads to our third point in our leader essentials, and that is to know the library. We already gave you a little tour of the Pursue God library last week, but make sure you know those topics: faith, family, life, all of the topics that you have at your disposal as you're discipling this other couple.
Let me give you a practical example. Let's say you're meeting with a couple. You've done topic 1 in Marriage Basics, which talks about the selfless, sacrificial love of Jesus and how that's how we should love our spouse. But what if you realize in the conversation they don't really know who Jesus is, or they don't know exactly what Jesus has done for them? So you might want to put a pause on the Marriage Basics and say, you know what, maybe we need to explore some topics in the faith category, specifically about Jesus, about what he's done for us. Because again, like we said in our first training video, that ultimately we're trying to help someone in their pursuit of God. We're trying to just disciple them one topic at a time. So you might realize that even though they faithfully attend your church, maybe they've missed the gospel message. So you might want to go to the faith category and find a topic to talk to them so they understand who Jesus is and maybe lead them in the prayer of faith. How cool would that be? So that's why we say that it's so important to know the library. Realize all of the different categories and topics that you have at your disposal.
Now, the fourth thing is to know your limits. Now, we're talking about you as a mentoring couple. Recognize, understand what your limits are in terms of your relationship with this other couple.
This essential is really important on a couple of different levels, because maybe you've been thinking, all right, I could see us meeting with a couple. We love people. We want to help people that are asking for some marriage mentoring. But what does that mean for my time? Well, so what we're asking is, in any of our mentoring relationships, that maybe you're meeting once a week, maybe it's every other week. I think in your first meeting, we always encourage people that you just kind of set your expectations pretty clearly. Like, we'll meet for an hour to an hour and a half each time. We come knowing the topic we're discussing. So you kind of create the parameters of your time, how much you can invest. So let's say that if a couple's calling you every day because they're having another argument, that you would just say, you know what? Our time together will be that predetermined time that we're meeting the next time, Have some determinations on what your limits are as far as your time commitment. But it's also, and very important, remembering that you're not a professional counselor. So if you're meeting with a couple and you feel like they need maybe daily check-in, or some of these issues are pretty heavy, then that's where you want to say, you know what? In addition to being marriage mentors, we need to find you a professional counselor as well, somebody that can walk with you at the level that you need. Because again, we just want you guys to be aware of, we're not asking you, nor would it be appropriate for you to act like a professional counselor. You don't have that training, you don't have that knowledge base. You can certainly work alongside a professional counselor, but it's really important to know your limits.
And with all that in mind, the last leader essential is probably the most important, and it is just simply to pray. Make sure that you are depending on God as you are mentoring this other couple. So pray together as a mentoring couple for the couple that you are mentoring.
And remember that as you're mentoring somebody else, you're going to be growing and learning as a couple yourselves. You're going to be challenged as you're talking through a topic to be like, oh man, I haven't been doing very good at listening. Like, it's just to have a heart of always being teachable and to pray for your mentoring couple, just really asking God to guide and lead those conversations, but also for God just to continue to reveal in your own heart the things that you need to learn and grow. What a neat experience that is, to explore God's truth together as married couples, learning and growing together.
So those are the 5 leader essentials. Know the couple, know the basics, know the library, know your limits, and don't forget to pray. And so that does it for week 2 of our Marriage Mentor training series. And that's actually the last formal lesson in the training series, but these next steps are really important. First of all, we want to make sure that you go through marriage basics to get familiar with that important series and to practice talking through the topics.
We feel like this is really important for you as the marriage mentoring couple to have gone through this series yourself, practiced with another couple, had that experience of feeling what it was like to answer some of those questions for yourself, and to maybe learn some tips from the couple that's taking you through this training of when you're doing, choosing love, what are some other topics that maybe would be good as a follow-up? For example, have a homework assignment of doing the love languages, which is a topic in there, or learning your love map, which is another great topic in the principle of choosing love. Walk through that series and learn some tips and some things to be listening for, some other topics you might want to add in as you're going through the series with another couple.
And then when you're done with that, cover additional training topics as needed before you get connected with another couple. Now you can find those training topics right here in that 3rd tab, that hashtag mentoring tab at the training series that you're taking right now. You'll find all kinds of training topics in general, and mixed in, you'll see some marriage mentoring topics specifically.
So don't be afraid to practice more topics with the couple taking you through the series. And when you guys feel ready, tell your pastor, tell the leader in charge of marriage mentoring at your church and say, okay, we've been through the training, we're ready to go, and get excited about walking with another couple, one topic at a time, to help strengthen their marriage.